Hi everyone! Thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of my new series, Career Talk with Kay. Hi everybody! Let's get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about those of you who hate your job. You can't stand your job. You hate going into work every single day. You want to cry on your way to work every single day. And you're just over it. You're done with it. Trust me, I totally get it. I've been there before. I used to be in that position where I could not stand my job. And I had my reasons for it. And that brings me to the first thing. I'm going to get into 4 things I want you all to really think about before you submit that resignation letter, okay? All right. First things first. I want you to be honest with yourself as to why you hate your job. What is it about that job that you absolutely cannot stand? Is it your manager? Is it your coworkers? Is it the work that you do? Is it the lack of engagement within your department? Is it too stressful? What is it? Do you even know why? That's what I want you to really think about. And this is, again, for those of you who absolutely hate your jobs and you may or may not know why, but I want you to write it out. Really take the time to think about it. Outline all of the cons there, and then outline the pros as well. And see if there's anything that you can change about it. You know what? One of the main things that will make us get through our day a lot easier is our thought process, the way we think about it. If you go into work every day with a negative attitude, then you will most likely have a negative day. But if you go into it like, you know what, I really don't like this job. Here are my reasons why. I've tried to make some changes with that. There's absolutely nothing I can do, but you know what? This is paying my bills right now. This is affording me the car that I drive, the house that I live in, the apartment that I live in, the dinners I get to go to after work or on the weekends. And so you know what? I'm going to try to make the most of it. I'm going to try to make the most of this day and this job that God blessed me with and that I prayed for. And if you didn't pray for it, then okay. But those of you who actually have prayed for the job, and this is a job that you originally were so excited about initially, I want you to really sit back, think about why now you hate it so much, and to see if this really is the end for you. All right? So number 2, I want you to think about, are you really driven by money, or are you driven by passion and purpose? So are you leaving your job because you want more money, or are you leaving because you figured out your passion and your purpose? Which one is it? Because I guarantee you that going to a job with more money is not going to make you happy long term. You may be happy right away when you see, the extra zeros coming in or whatever it is, but I guarantee you down the line, you may have more stress with a higher paying job. You may be busier. You may work longer hours, and so that it doesn't balance out at that point. But if you go somewhere where, it's fulfilling the passion that you have deep inside of you, it's fulfilling that purpose that God has put in your heart, then you're doing something right at that point. And if you don't know what your passion or purpose is, I have another video coming out for that soon. All right? So let's get into number 3. I want you to really figure out the type of life that you want to have. What type of life do you want to live? Do you want to live a life of stress? Or do you want to live a stress-free life? Do you want to live a fulfilling life, a purpose-filled life? Or do you only care about money? Do you only care about making $5,000 in a week? Or do you care about being able to invest $5,000 into the next startup or this or that? I want you to really take the time to write out the type of life you really want for yourself. Whether that's in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, what is it that you really want out of life? And can you get that at the current job you're in? Again, weigh the pros and the cons. Is this job affording you the lifestyle you need to have now while you're working towards your passion and your purpose? What is this job doing for you? If it's doing absolutely nothing, then there you go. You have your answer. But if you're able to pay your bills, if you're able to take a trip or two, if you're able to go to dinner or happy hour or whatever, then why don't you hang in there just a little bit longer? Go ahead and put that resignation on pause right now. And so that way you still have the money and the resources to be able to work on your passion, to work on your purpose. Because I guarantee you, if you leave your job and you don't have anything else lined up, you're not going to be able to, have the income and the resources you may need in order to work on your passion and your purpose. And I know some of you may saying, oh, well, you just have to have faith. Absolutely. But faith without works is dead, right? Yeah. So you definitely want to make sure you're still being smart about it. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's all I want to get to you is be smart about the decisions that you are making. All right. And number 4, I want you to think about who is going to be affected if you decide to quit your job today, tomorrow, next week, or next month. Do you have children? Do you have a spouse? Do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? What about your parents? Is it going to affect your future spouse, later on down the line? Because if you quit your job and go into debt, that debt's going to follow you later on in life, right? And if you go to the next job and the next job and the next, that's going to not only affect your future spouse or your current spouse, but that will affect you in the long run. Because a lot of companies and employers don't want to see someone who's had 10 jobs in 6 months. It doesn't look good. So I want you to really think about why you're quitting, the type of life you want to live, what you're driven by, and what is causing you to want to do something different. What's causing you to want to go back to school and get that degree? Is it because someone said that they make a lot of money doing it? Or did you really figure out that's something I'm actually passionate about? So you know what? I want to go back to school and do that. Or I want to go into that industry. Or I want to do that business. Or did you take a step back and look and see, the current job I'm in right now is actually fulfilling my purpose because I'm able to talk to this brother and this sister, and I'm able to do this and do that, and that's giving back in a way. And I'm able to pay my bills as well. Let's be honest, guys, we're all adults and we have bills, we have obligations and responsibilities. And so let's start acting like it, all right? We all can't be Instagram famous stars. We all can't be a blogger who gets paid to blog about things. That's not realistic. I'm a dreamer all day, but I also have to be realistic about everyday life as well, So I want you guys to really think about it before you leave. I want you to change your attitude before you go into work tomorrow and make a decision to have a better attitude. Make a decision that, if this is not it for me, I'm going to work really hard to get out of it. I'm not going to just go to the next job and still be miserable after 3 or 4 months. I'm going to stay here if I can, and do what I have to do in order to get out and go to the next thing. I understand if it's to the point where you just absolutely cannot stay there anymore, but just make sure you're not doing anything too haste where you get into debt and you lose everything out of emotions, all right? If you need therapy, do what you have to do. I don't want anyone to get sick or anything like that, but I just want to be truthful with you. I want to be realistic with you, and I just want to encourage you to just hang in there, do what you have to do until it's time for you to go on to the next thing, guys. Trust me, again, I've been there before. I understand. I get it. It is really hard staying somewhere where you really don't want to be. But I'm telling you the truth, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, all right? All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will have several other episodes coming up about some other career tips. Remember to subscribe and take care, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye!